I had a while back with Israel's Consul General for South India, based out of Mumbai, Orli Weitzman, on the Israeli ground offensive on Lebanon. Listen in. Welcome, Mr. Weitzman, to this broadcast. And let me begin by asking, this announcement is about a limited military operation in southern Lebanon by the Israeli Defense Forces. What do you mean when you say that it's a limited military operation?
So good evening, Abhishek. I think if we have a look at the news and to understand the conflict itself and what's going on, I think throughout this whole operation and this whole war, it's pretty obvious that Israel's interest is basically to keep its citizens safe. And we know that since the 8th of October, we have gotten rockets fired from Lebanon almost on a daily basis into Israel. People from the northern borders have had to leave their towns and villages, and for almost a month, for almost a year, have been relocated to other parts of Israel, and they need to get back to their homes and back to their lives. The military operation now is aimed at keeping, at enabling a safe border and a safe environment for these citizens. So Israel has no interest in large conflicts and a wide regional conflict. Their only interest is to keep the safety of the citizens, and it will have to do, and whatever it takes will be done in order to assure this.
Can we say that this ground offensive in southern Lebanon has been launched to degrade the military infrastructure that Hezbollah has in that territory, and to that extent, this offensive might go on till the time that the missile infrastructure is completely taken down?
Yeah, so as you know, as I'm sure you've heard, the Hezbollah have throughout the years used basically all of South Lebanon and including houses of private people and civilians to put their infrastructure, to put their weapons, to hide their weapons within the civilians, and also sometimes underground in tunnels and others. So Israel has to make sure. We saw what happened on October 7th when this threat was from Gaza. Israel can't let that happen again. So yes, Israel will have to do whatever it does, and take however long it takes to make sure that the area is clear and that there's no more military threat from that area.
Consul General, you might say that you are not looking at widening the conflict, but we have a statement from Hezbollah saying that they are going to respond. In fact, they have, in response to Israel's Operation Northern Arrows, launched Operation Revenge. So obviously we are looking at the possibility of the conflict widening.
Unfortunately, if they decide to respond or to attack again, then Israel will have to make sure that the threat is eliminated. I mean, Israel never initiated this. The attack on October 7th was initiated by the Hamas on their accord, and the Hezbollah decided on its own without being provoked in any way to join. So yes, so if they decide to respond or decide to keep threatening the citizens of Israel, Israel will have to respond and make sure that there's no more threat.
All right. Also, we have had a statement from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu speaking to the people in Lebanon, speaking to the people in Iran, and telling that Israel is not against the people, but the regimes that are perpetrating terror acts against Israel and its citizens. Is it possible that once, like happened in the case of Hamas, once Israel was done with Hamas, you focused on Hezbollah. Once you're done with Hezbollah, their leadership effectively already gone, and now military infrastructure being targeted. The war might move to the Houthis in Yemen, and then ultimately perhaps to Iran as well?
So I'm very hopeful that there won't be a regional conflict, and it won't actually happen. But again, Israel is prepared for any threat. So if Iran makes the mistakes and tries to attack Israel directly, Israel will have to respond. Like I think I made it clear, Israel will respond to any threat to its citizens anywhere in the world. And we've seen that happen from Lebanon, from the Houthis in Yemen, and also Iran, who attacked Israel in April. Israel knows how to respond. It chose until now to have a limited response in Iran, but I think the response demonstrated well Israeli capabilities. And if the Iranians make the mistake and try to hurt Israeli civilians and threaten Israel, then the response will come. And again, the whole reason for this and the whole purpose of this is to make sure that Israeli citizens are safe.
Mr. Weitzman, in the context of the operation in southern Lebanon, the UN Resolution 1701 is also being talked about. You think that that's any impediment in any manner?
I think that if the UN resolution had been implemented to begin with, we wouldn't be in this situation today. And I think that's the diplomatic solution that we're all hoping for. The UN resolution already foresaw the problems that we were having, understood that the UN resolution took into account the threat that Hezbollah was posing on Israel, and that was the diplomatic solution that was found. Unfortunately, it wasn't implemented. If it was implemented, then it would have prevented this whole situation to begin with. And so I'm hoping, and I think Israel is hoping, that this will be implemented, and that will be the best outcome right now for the immediate outcome. Hopefully, in the future, there'll be a more permanent outcome, because, like you said before, Israel has no problems with the citizens of Lebanon, has no problem with the citizens of Iran. We hope that they are able to thrive in Iran, in Lebanon, and they can do this if they have a regime, a democratic, stable regime, which loves the people more than it hates the enemies, or what they perceive as enemies. So when that happens, that'll be the real stability, long-term stability that we're looking for.
My last question to you, ma'am, with effectively entire Hezbollah leadership gone, effectively entire Hamas leadership gone, if negotiations have to take place on ceasefire, whom would you be talking to?
It really depends. I'm hoping it really depends what happens, and right now we know that Iran is the puppeteer of all these organizations. So it really depends how things develop. Hopefully, the Lebanese government will be able to also contain some more Hezbollah. Maybe they will have a stronger hold in Lebanon, and that will make things much easier, because then there'll be a sovereign government who's able to control the situation and to speak. And in Hamas, we're hoping that there is some kind of other solution once the hostages are returned safely, and we can find a solution with them as well.
All right, if hostages are returned, maybe a solution can be found. Thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Weitzman, Consul General of Israel for South India from Mumbai. Thank you so much.
Thank you.